One very interesting new chapter is this common building areas one, because we've realised that whether you're lighting a museum or an office building or a court or whatever it is, there are toilets. There are corridors, staircases, all the back of house stuff, cleaning cupboards, all those sorts of things. So these are a sort of generic group. Slightly embarrassingly, when we started looking at this, and for my sins, this is one of the chapters I wrote, I found it slightly embarrassing. I started by looking at the code for lighting, which has all the lighting levels required for corridors, lighting levels required for toilets, all those sorts of things, but it lists them very simply. And it's not the code's fault, because the code is based on the European standard. And the European standard says toilets, 100 lux, or 200 lux, can't remember what it says. But it doesn't say where. Is it everywhere? Is it, or it doesn't even say, I don't think it says whether it's horizontal or vertical. Is it at the toilet seat level? Is it floor level? Is it on the sinks? Doesn't give you any guide. So we've rather cheekily said we know better, and so under toilets it has a lot more detail on where to light. You want light at the sinks and the mirrors. You don't need so much at the urinals and things like that. Yeah, it's a very sensible guidance for where you really need light in a toilet, or where you really need light on corridors, ramps and things like that. If you're lighting a long ramp within a building, key places are the top of the ramp and the bottom of the ramp and the area around it. Once you're on the ramp, your lighting level can be a bit lower. So there's sort of practicalities about that. Reception desks. At a reception desk, you may need lighting on the desk or on the working space behind, but crucially, you need to look at people. The receptionist and the visitors need to look at each other, they need to understand, they need to read lips in some cases, so it's vertical illumination. So all these areas have completely different sick bays, first aid rooms. Again, European standard would say, oh, it's got to be 300 lux or whatever it might say. Where? But of course, you need it at examination chairs, or you need it where there's a medical cabinet, or you need it where there's a layout table for medicines and first aid books and things. So again, it gives you a lot more detail of how to lay cleaners' rooms, boring cupboards, but they mix chemicals. Cleaners mix chemicals in a cleaner's cupboard. So not all cupboards. Some of it's just a stack of brooms and a few old magazines and things, but some areas you need to know why they need particular lighting levels. Loading bays. You need to load into lorries. You need to have forklift trucks trundling around. Certain things need lighting, certain things don't need so much lighting. So again, it's a very good practical overview, and we are feeding this back to the standards committees. So we hope in a few years' time, the next European standard on lighting won't say toilets 100 lux.